Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 529. Today is not Monday, November 14th, 2022. It is November 15th, which is a Tuesday. We are podcasting a day late. This I am Marlisha, also known as Lady Fernico.
I'm Kelly, also known as Franciscan Gypsy.
I want to welcome all new and returning viewers to the Fun in the Woman Cave. Please excuse the mess on my desk. I just kind of threw
The
everything
mess on your desk.
mess on my desk. Okay. If you are new, we're glad you found us. We hope that you will find something you enjoy, so you will stick around. Maybe tell other people about us. And if you are returning, we're always glad to have you back. If you are new or returning and are still in the shadows, but would like to maybe become more visible or participate more, please feel free to press the little subscribe button on your right, the red button, and it's a little bell that you can tap so you can get your notifications. And then if you really want to get involved, if you want to take part in the alongs and things like that that you hear us talking about, and there's a lot of camaraderie and stuff going on there. That's the home group, which is phnpodcast.freeforums.net. I don't even have to look at it anymore. How about that? Don't ask me to type it out, though.
And if you really, really, really want to get involved, we have our Patreon.
Mhm.
And that includes, there's several different levels. The highest level, which is a $5 a month level, which you get a monthly live stream that's available for all the levels. And then the monthly Zoom, which is only available for the $5 ones. Also available for all the levels is the Facebook group for patrons, and the
Yearly
newest thing is the WhatsApp.
and the yearly free pattern that you were doing.
Right, right. And I already
That's
did the one for
$5.
this year.
Yeah.
And that is for the $5 one.
Hmm.
So yes, just that now you have all the involved possibilities laid out for you.
And all of it is in the little description box below the video.
I can't remember if I put the Patreon in there.
Ty and I both have Etsy shops. I do yarn. She has patterns and rosaries. And that's just a little FYI. Okay. Now, with Christmas and all that kind of stuff coming up. No pressure, just telling you no. Okay. I think I have three.
I have two-ish.
That either you have two or you don't.
I have two, but it's barely two.
Okay.
I do like a row on
Yeah.
the second one.
So my tea in this is what my daughter's head looks like. That's an oboe for those of you who are new. Oh, it comes backwards. How about that?
Well,
Um,
I think it only looks backwards to you. I don't
yeah,
know.
it does. I don't know if it looks backwards to them. It never looks backwards to us when we're doing it on the camera.
Yeah, I'm
Mm.
not sure why.
This has matured very well. I just took some time.
Yeah, I figured as much.
This is my own blend. I still like it better without the cream, I think, or maybe just with the sugar and the cream.
Right.
This is my own blend. This is my favorite teddy bear, and those of you who've been with us a long time know that this goes kind of hand in hand with my yarn. So, my favorite teddy bear. That's what this is. And I have a little bit of honey and a little bit of sugar. I think in the future I will just do the sugar with the cream and not the honey for this particular blend.
And say whipped chocolate honey.
Mm-hmm. Adagio's whipped chocolate honey, which is amazing. We would rather just maybe stick a spoon in it and eat it that way. But then
Or like it'd be amazing on bread.
their cinnamon honey is absolutely fantastic. My husband likes it even. So, but then anyway, that's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
Okay, so I have another Adagio tea. This one is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. I should have probably grabbed a Christmas mug,
Mm.
but
I may have a new Advent mug coming in.
and I also put chocolate honey and some vanilla almond milk in it this time. I haven't actually drunk it this way before.
I think I have. It's very good. Most of Woody's are good with his chocolate ones are good with
Yeah,
those.
I do think this is good, quite good with that.
The other one was really good like that with the autumn cocoa. I'm not sure if that was Woody's or Irishman's, but you
Hmm.
chocolate and the almond milk and that is really good.
So yeah. Oh, apparently I'm doing the oboe mug too. This is what my head looks like mug.
Now yours, see, I see it forwards. That answers the question. Can you see mine? forward. So what?
Yes.
Okay,
And mine looks backwards to me.
okay. But see, when we're sitting in here, this room is where we do the podcasting normally, but over there, where my couch is, so and that's when we have a camera, and it doesn't come up backwards on the camera. So I'm curious if it comes out backwards, the words come out backwards to you when we're on camera over there, since it doesn't come up.
No, it doesn't because we've seen parts of the podcast before.
That's true. Yeah, I have a couple
Um, the only
papers.
thing I can think of is maybe if it, I'm trying to think if on the little screen it's backwards and maybe it's just on the bigger screen it's forward. I don't know.
Well, this is a big screen.
Yeah, but it's all of the one, it's all one equipment, whereas I'm attaching
But
something.
you're talking about whether it's because it's all in one.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that takes care of that. We have our tea and our mugs. Oh, Thanksgiving. Um,
Yes.
we're not sure what we're going to be doing for Thanksgiving podcast because after today, I'm going to probably get a little bit of knitting and yarn dyeing in, and then I have to focus on cooking and things. And so I don't know if we're going to podcast after Thanksgiving. We might if we can. My parents are coming for Thanksgiving, which we don't see them but maybe once a year. And so
Did I understand correctly? There might be one other person too.
no, she got a hold of me yesterday and said her son is coming.
Oh, okay.
As long as she has somebody there, that's good. Um, but my parents will be here. We do sometimes knit and crochet when they're here. But if we do have something, we'll probably have a podcast. If we don't do something, we'll see. And then we also have the Zoom to think about.
Well, honestly, less of a concern is if we have how much we have of something and then the beforehand with the cooking.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that one, that's this Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oops,
Um,
show notes. But anyway,
because we're yeah.
just keep your eyes open for updates. I'm not sure the next podcast or two might be a little bit dicey.
And also you might find that podcasts are alternating between like Mondays and Tuesdays, depending because I needed a full day and a half to recover from going to church on Sunday. Um, so I wasn't physically in a good enough place to do the podcast on Sunday. So I mean Monday. So that's it. So just we're gonna be a little bit, there'll be two options.
Yeah, it'll either be Monday or Tuesday most likely, unless something unforeseen happens.
Right.
We just can't be as static as we have been in the past, where we're just kind of immovable, and that's what we do. We can't do it anymore. So
Yeah.
it'll be Monday or Tuesday. Just keep an eye out. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let me see here. Oh, I know there were a lot of there were a few comments on the thread on the YouTube. I saw them. Somebody asked about, I think it was Christina who asked about strainers for things like not Earl Grey, like rooibos.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
So that doesn't get. All I can say, Christina, is you got to make sure that the strainer is small. Adagio has some good ones for that. I don't know if Plum Deluxe does or not.
The one we had that was really good, we actually got from Amazon.
Mhm.
It was that set
Oh
that
yeah, you're talking about
it has the arm things
where is
that
it?
fold.
Yeah. Well,
Because I
these
think there are a couple.
that's
That
not
one.
this is not the set though. This is
No, you're right. It isn't set. Was that Amazon or was that Adagio?
that one might be better. This is the one from Amazon, and it does
The
have
other
very
one's better.
this one has very, very small holes. The thing about this one is it takes up a lot of space in your mug,
Yeah, which is good if you want milk.
but it's very, very small holes.
And I find it a little hard to clean out.
Yeah. But yeah,
But the other one,
go
the
ahead.
first one Mom showed you is actually really good to clean out. That one's actually from Adagio, right?
Yeah. I have a couple from Adagio, a couple different ones. Some came with they have a mug infuser set, and that's pretty good as well. It's kind of trial and error. You just have to make sure that it has small holes in it, so that
But,
the smaller the holes, the better for rooibos because it gets
but the
all over.
two that Mom showed you are both have small holes.
Mhm. I mean the last one I showed you is almost minuscule. I mean
Yeah.
it's just tiny.
And that one is from Amazon. It's a two. set. It has a small one that's supposedly for uh a mug,
Mhm.
but me personally, I don't like my tea that compressed. It's like having it in a tea bag. It
Right,
needs room to breathe. So I
right.
use the one that's intended for when I do use it. I use the one that's intended for a teapot.
The problem is that it takes up so much room in your mug. But
Hmm.
the good thing about those is that it has a little base to it, so you can put it
Yes.
down and it doesn't get, like we end up using a lot of little paper plates so that we don't get tea all over the place when we take the infuser out, or we have a little plastic, like you get soups that are about this size. You get
Hmm.
the Chinese
You get
restaurant
wonton soup or something you get takeout.
takeout, and so that we have a couple of those that we use, which has the added bonus of having a nice little lid on it and everything. But yeah, a long way, long way to say something really simple. Just get something with really small holes. So
Hmm.
I'm sure
And
you've
it
got.
won't tell you on the listing
You
if
have to
it's
look
small
at.
holes.
Yeah, you really have to. Sometimes it'll say. I think sometimes it'll say this is really good for fine teas, like rooibos and stuff like that.
You
But
might see in the comments like at Amazon.
yeah, yeah. And if you go to Adagio, you might see in the comments there as well.
Hmm.
I don't know as much about the Plum Deluxe. I only have the one infuser from them.
Yeah, I don't, because I don't think their infuser has particularly small holes, at least not the one.
I don't think it does. The only one I have of theirs is the owl one, the little
Hmm.
owl around the edges. So, and that one doesn't have particularly small holes. It's a nice infuser. It just doesn't have anything around it's not particularly small holes. Okay. Um. Anyway, that was a long way of saying I will get back to you. Try to get back to you who answered on the YouTube when I get the chance. Okay. And I apologize for not getting to you sooner. Okay, let's see here. You would think that with an extra day I would have gotten to you, but no. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Our longs. Okay, the PHN Tea and Tails Cal Cal Al 2022 is in its last 6 weeks, which is kind of freaky. That's our year-long along. So it started January 1st of this year and it goes until December 31st of this year. So midnight going into the 1st of January of 2023 means it is finished. Please don't wait to see if we're going to be a little bit late closing up because we're talking about midnight Eastern Standard Time because that's where we're at. And I know a lot of you guys are maybe not Eastern Standard Time. Keep in mind that we're talking about midnight uh, our time and not necessarily California or,
Hmm.
you know, Malaysia or anything like that. So you need to make sure you get your stuff in um, before midnight Eastern Standard Time. Okay, because either we'll close it or Rena will close it or one of our other moderators will close it um, as near to that time as possible. If there is extra hours and you get something done, great, bonus. But
Right.
if you're working on something for a long time, you don't want to be waiting. Okay, you want to
No.
get your projects in. Okay. Um, let's see here, and that's true of all the alongs. Okay. For the tea and tails, the theme is tea and or tails, anything related to tea and or tails, which means the tails have to have a beginning, middle, and an end. It can be children's books. It can be, uh, we did say it couldn't be history though, because it was supposed to be fiction, tea and or tails. I remember that
Yes.
from last time.
We said mythology.
But mythology is fiction. It's not.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
they didn't believe it was fiction at the time, but
yeah, at that time, but that's back then. Um, Historical fiction is fiction, but history or biography or anything like that, that's not fiction. So we're talking about anything with beginnings, middles, and ends.
history itself is not fiction.
No, anyway, um, because some of our current events might be considered fiction, but we're not going to go there. Anyway, so beginning, middle, and end, it could be any level, reading level from the smallest child's book to an adult book, as long as it has a story that has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and it is fictional. Okay. Um, Includes narrative poetry, includes plays that have been novelized, things like that, that kind of stuff. Um, One whip per project per week, DFO whenever it's finished. The projects must be knit, loom knit, or crocheted. And let's see, if it's 50 yards or less for the project that's finished, please put it with something else that's 50 yards or more. Featured yarns and patterns in this group for all of our alongs. the core featured yarns and patterns is anything that's Lady Franco creation, anything that's Franciscan Gypsies designs, and anything that's Lollipop Girl creations, which used to be Lollipop Girl yarns. That's me, Taya, and Laura Concert. Anything that's got a yarn or pattern or whatever that has um, that is ours that reflects the theme is eligible for two chances at a prize for the finished object only. And if you use a finished, if you have a finished object that uses both the yarn and the featured pattern, featured yarn, featured pattern together, then you have three chances at a prize and you're responsible for your own multiple postings. Now, those three, um, I don't know, makers, me, Laura, and Taya, were always featured.
Right.
In, but for this along and for the toy along as well, and I'll repeat this later, we are also featuring um, KF Jones, who is Bridie Bear, Mom Cook, who is a loom knitter, and Joanna Johnson, who is a knitter. Okay, so they anything that's TN or tails related by them, whether it's yarn or patterns, eligible for two chances at a prize for finished object only. And if you use a finished a featured pattern and yarn and you finish it, three chances at a prize. You are responsible for your multiple postings. Hashtag is PHNT and Tails 2022 on Instagram. We do have prizes. I've just gotten to the point where I'm not going to show you the prizes. You're just going to have to wait. Okay. I'm not even going to make the pretense anymore. That's my New Year's resolution early. I'm not going to make the pretense. You guys will see the prizes when I pull them. Okay. Um, I can't be bothered pulling out no prizes. They're over there. Okay. We have some lovely prizes. The toy along in the drink. Oh, who's buzzing me? I don't care. Okay. The toy along is just what it says. It's toys. Oh, yeah. That's much better now that it's okay. If the toy along is toys, whether they're knit, loom knit, or crocheted, not sewn, just knit, loom knit, or crocheted, the rules are basically the same, and this runs from October 1st through the end of this year. So once you hit midnight going into January 1st, it's finished. That's Eastern Standard Time. Um, Basically, all the rules are the same, except that they're toys, and all of the featured objects, the featured patterns, featured yarns, mine, Taya's, Laura's, KF Jones, um, Mom Cook, and I'm not Mom, Mom Cook and Joanna Johnson. I keep forgetting. I know this is in here, and I keep forgetting. I even wrote it in here that for this toy along, we're also including Chronically Crocheting.
Right.
So Chronically Crocheting is in this toy along. It's in the thread in the group. I just keep forgetting to say it because I'm just kind of glancing at my notes. She has some really cute toys, a unicorn and a cat and a dog and a gnome. So she has things that will,
Unicorn.
I said unicorn
Oh, I like a cat dog. No.
and unicorn. So she has things that you can put in for the toy along, okay? Because they don't have to be toy animals. They can be toy whatever, like the gnome,
Right.
or if you find the doll pattern or something like that. Okay. Um, Same basic rules. Um, we have prizes. The hashtag for this is PHN Toy 2022. Okay. The Out with the Old is our last along that we're doing right now. You awake, Taya?
Yes, I am.
Okay. I can see her like you guys see her now, so I can see whether she's nodding off a little bit, but I can't see because
No, I'm not.
her glasses are covering. I can't see because she's looking down. I think she's working on something. Okay. Um, this one is the Out with the Old Cal Cal Loud. This was the brainchild a year ago of Wombat of Doom, who is one of our moderators. And this is when we finish all the things. Okay, this goes October 1st through the end of this year. Okay, just like all the other alongs. And this has to be, everything has to be already started. It cannot have been started on October 1st or later. It has to have been started before October 1st of this year. And what we're aiming to do is finish these things because A, you want them, and B, you want to
Hmm.
get needles, okay, instead of having to buy more hooks or needles, okay? Um, so there's no real, there's basically the same rules. The only featured yarns, featured patterns are mine, Ty's, and Laura's for this one. And the fact that it has to be already started prior to October 1st. Um, and we're trying to finish it. If you don't finish it, then we'll look into the ready, set, go stuff later. But
Right.
uh PHN Out with the Old 2022 is what the hashtag is for this one. Okay. Now, I did post, I mentioned a couple weeks ago, and thank you. I think it was Jody who reminded me that the holiday thread is now up. We weren't intending to give prizes, but we had a donation from Rena, and
Yes,
yarn is absolutely gorgeous.
it
Okay,
is.
two skeins of this beautiful yarn. I think it's blues and pinks and purples. I can't remember exactly.
But you'll find out.
You'll find out. Yeah, I have to get the picture from Rena, or maybe Rena can put it. Rena, if you're watching, maybe you can put it in the thread for us so we can uh so they can see what they're going for. Unless you want it to be a surprise, then you can leave it out. Okay. But Rena was very generous. She said, "Do you mind this?" I said, "I don't mind. That's great." So so you guys, yes, we will have prizes for that thread. And this thread is unusual. Okay, this thread is not just for knitting and crocheting. This thread is for everything we're doing during the holidays, whether it's Christmas, Hanukkah, whatever it is you're celebrating between now and New Year's. So it'll end probably January 2nd. Anything that you're making that's related, it could be recipes, it can be schedules that you're doing, it can be projects that you're making from, tree skirts to table runners to toys to whatever it is you're making to some to something like this that you want to wear with your Christmas outfit or whatever. It's everything. Christmas cards, candy, anything. It's as long as this is holiday related. And thanks to Rena, we do have prizes for this. Okay.
Mm.
So you know, put your recipes in, put your schedules in, put your journal pages in. Just don't nothing private. Okay. We don't want to embarrass you by saying you have to put your private stuff, but you know,
If it's something you don't mind sharing.
yeah, if you don't mind sharing paper crafts, anything. This is holiday stuff, okay? And this may be something that we do maybe all the time. Maybe. It sounds like it'd be fun.
And don't forget about our paper crafts thread. We
Yes,
do have one.
yes, we do have a paper crafts thread. Yeah, if you're doing paper crafts in this thread, you can put it in that one as well. That one is more dicey for prizes. That's kind of like at our whim because that's there all the time. But
Yes, it is.
since this one is just here basically from middle of November through January 2nd, this one will have prizes. Okay,
Yeah.
so thanks to Rena. All right, so thank you, Rena, and we look forward to seeing recipes and makes and schedules and plans and all that kind of stuff, pictures, whatever it is, cards, everything. Okay, we're nosy. Christmas teas. Hey, Christmas teas, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Christmas mugs.
Christmas mugs, yeah. So yeah, okay. Just sky's kind of the limit on that one. Okay, just PG-13. Okay.
Yes.
We are a family podcast and we're a family group. Okay. Okay. Not that we have to say that to anybody, but just thought I'd throw it out there. Okay. That leads us to our stuff. You have two?
I do have two.
Mm,
That means you first.
okay. I need something to drink because I always talk like 5,000 years before you get anything to say. Okay. In my Knitter's Magic bag, the light, the light's not really great in here for showing this because it's kind of a yellow light with kind of a stained glass lamp around it, kind of. So, and you can't really get the color here, but it's black with purple. And this has my Welcome Little One project. This is from the On the Porch Blanket knitting pattern by 5410 Studio. And I'm kind of in the middle of something here because when I was talking, I got to the end, I started another row. But you can see it is growing. I think it's pretty.
It
And,
is. I have my
and
screen on orange, so it's it looks different to me.
you can see that I've got it kind of coming toward me here. So it's not the full length because
Yeah.
yeah.
Or
So
width or whatever. Is that the length or the width?
this is the width this way, width
Yeah.
across. The
Because we
length,
want to make sure we're on the same page.
yeah. It's growing this way, it's not growing
Yeah, that's
vertical.
what I thought.
So yeah, so this is basically this should have been done like a million years ago, but it
Well,
isn't.
you don't knit as fast as you crochet.
I don't, and also I just don't feel like it sometimes. And it's been a very strange year crafting wise. I went in a lot of spurts, and then there were times where I had to hurry up and find something so I could show on the podcast. that's why I started again with my hands cooperated, crocheting and knitting on the podcast because
Right.
I wanted to make sure I had something to show you guys and not just be yammering at you. So, but yeah, that's basically what I have to say about this. The yarn is my Lady Furnival Creations Bare Necessities in the bulky weight.
I'm gonna take a quick drink of tea and then I can do my first one.
You sound like you're echoing a little bit. Maybe that's just me.
I can't imagine why. Maybe you're hearing the air
Maybe I have you too loud.
filter.
No, no, no. It's maybe it's too loud here.
There should be no absolutely no reason why I'm echoing.
Well, it's not like an echo. It's like it sounds almost like you're in a tin can.
Huh, that's odd.
Yeah. I mean, not quite. That's exaggerated. It's not quite that, noticeable, but I think maybe I had the volume up too high or something.
Okay, that was odd. Okay, so in my Silver Shed USA Beauty and the Beast bag, I've decided that that's what this is. This has, the books from the
These
library Beast gave to Belle,
those
and
li
then, huh?
those library bags. That's
And
what
then has the gold for her very famous gold dress. Mom, even yours works because she has the blue and white one that she,
I'm just gonna call mine Bell's Library.
yeah.
I don't know.
So, yes, once you see it, you can't unsee it.
No.
So these are my Kingfisher socks. Main color, whoopsie, is a bunny. Let me take a quick drink.
Mhm.
This is West Yorkshire Spinners. The main colorway is Kingfisher. And then the juniper is what I
Yeah,
use for the heels and toes. I wanted to remember on my own, so um,
I didn't try to.
no, I didn't want it to look it up. I didn't want it to depend on you. I wanted to see if I can remember all by myself.
By myself, do it myself. She used to say as a kid all the time, do myself, do myself.
I did.
I'm pretty sure you did. Maybe I'm thinking about it. Maybe it's because we talk about it so much that it's one of those memories
I
that
mean, it could have been because I think I've always been fairly independent,
I'm
but
wondering if it's one of those things that you say that people tell you something so often that, or you talk about something so often that it kind of becomes part of your memory.
well,
Well,
I mean, just like I feel like I remember your accident, but my memory I built around it is untrue
mhm,
because I either heard it or I thought I remembered it. So in my head, it was real,
mhm.
but that's not actually what happened.
I don't remember what you said happened.
Um, like you didn't know where I was and you came like I got out or something. And
Yeah, you
is
did
that
get
a
out.
true memory or is that false?
It's partially true. I told you to get out, but you went around the back of the car and you scared me half to death because it was really foggy and it was on a hill, and all I could think of was a truck hitting you.
You see, that's what I think I'm remembering.
I have nightmares still sometimes.
So I built up the fact that I think I remember it, just like I think I remember you being in a wheelchair in the hospital.
I was I was in a
Okay, Dad didn't remember that. I
I
told
was
him I remembered
I
it
was. Mhm.
because he's like, no, no, that never happened. I was like, no, I have this memory.
It happened. I couldn't walk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he doesn't remember that.
yeah, because I had what happened was it was Colorado, which sometimes gets really icy, and I slid, and I must have pushed my lower back against the seat before I hit,
Uh-huh.
and it wasn't fast. It was just and I thought I was okay, but the next morning, except my car was totaled, uh, the fender and stuff because of the way it got. Because I hit twice, two different times, getting home. And I was fine. I thought it was fine. I was scared to tell Mike about the car, but he thought you're okay. It's not a big deal. I mean, what's he going to do? He was going to yell at me, But the next morning I got up and I sneezed and I couldn't move. And my husband had worked nights that night and he had to take me into the hospital because even though he hadn't gotten any sleep, I couldn't move. And
I
I,
think he doesn't like to think about it, and I think he's brought it like it in his mind. It's not as serious as it.
well, I mean, it was just that was a whole thing. I mean, they brought me into that place, into the hospital over at the academy, the Air Force Academy, and went in there and first they're telling me to get on a table, okay, in the
Oh,
then they're doing whatever they have to do, and all the lights go out. I'm like, okay, but it was. I mean, that's where a lot of my issues with my hip come from. Now I'm quite sure, but it was it was interesting. It
on
was,
top of other things you didn't know you had
mhm,
to make things, even more fun.
yeah,
But
makes life interesting.
yes.
But I think it's
Okay, well, apparently I did remember a couple of, I do think that I created the memory because you told me the story so many times about the car.
could be.
But um I independently remember the wheelchair thing. Okay. Anyway, because I don't remember a whole, like, I had snippets I remember from that time period because did I turn 5 when I went to England,
No, you turned
or was
6.
it 5 when I went there?
You were 5 when you got there because we went and said, well, let me see. Yeah, because you were already going into kindergarten, so you were 5. Um,
Okay.
you turned 6 in England.
Okay.
Mhm.
So yeah, like from, I feel like there's a certain period of time,
Yeah.
like it's like you only remember things in snippets.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, you were 5 already because we went in 92 because your Aunt Carmen got um, married in 93 and we'd only been there like 5 months and had to get on a hop to go to the wedding. And you turned 6. I don't know if you turned 6. I forget what her wedding is. I think it's the 9th. So we came back, I think you had your birthday, but I think we celebrated there too.
you must have already met the him fairly early on because you said that
Mhm.
it was that when I turned 6, you asked her like
Well,
what
yeah.
happened.
Well, you got to remember that she was, she was. I met her in the base chapel going to church right when we were there.
I didn't remember.
And you 4 kids, we would go to each other's. Well, actually, went to hers because she had a much nicer setup for her temporary quarters than we did. I mean, ours was nice, but it wasn't set up for visitors. It was bed.
Hmm.
She actually had like a sitting room and everything, if I remember correctly, and we were both homeschooling and everything. Um, so yeah, and the kids, you and Davina and her kids, um, right off the get go, we were.
I just feel sorry for
Oh,
Joseph surrounded by all those girls.
yeah. But anyway, there
Yeah,
is
sorry. I was just, it made me
memory
think
lane
it,
that we should not be doing because it's rude.
right. I like it. The reason I brought it up was because you like I said, from like you get only snippets of memories from a certain period of time, and that it led me to think about you being like what happened to my 5-year-old.
Right. Well, that time, that you were younger than that. You were 4.
Well, I mean, like when I turned 5, you asked her what happened to your
Oh, well,
your 5-year-old.
I said, did your daughter do this? Yes. Okay. Good to know. Good to know.
Um,
But anyway, is it my?
Nothing happened to me. It just meant that I guess I've got obnoxious when I turned 6.
She was obnoxious when she was 6. No,
Was that 3 that's supposed to be now or 2?
they're different ages. But anyway, is it my project or yours?
Oh, I have to finish mine. So here's the second sock. I'm out of the uh gusset decreases. I'm just doing the foot.
Very
I
nice.
look forward to having this pair. They're fun. Whoops, I'm untangled. But yeah, let me wind that up a little bit. I do enjoy working with structure spinners, and they're a really nice cold weather sock. They're not, I mean, they're not bad for the summer either. There's something about wool that just makes it a little bit more versatile for whatever reason. Um, it's more breathable than the other like non-wool stuff. But like West Yorkshire spinners, in spite of being not very heavy, it's so warm.
Right.
That,
Okay.
that's me.
You're done. All right.
Uh-huh.
Let me get. I don't like to be in the middle of a
Row,
increase. Huh?
row.
No, I don't want to be in the middle of this increase.
Ah,
Just let me. I have another stitch to do, and then I can show you. Okay, this is this is my bag, Christmas Angels bags I use all year round because that's me. Lois helped me find this out because I wanted this other fabric was gorgeous, and I guess they discontinued it. So she helped me to find this one, which is really pretty as well. I like the old-fashioned angels. And this is my film noir shawl from the scrap shawl pattern by Anastasia Sattel. In fact, I got a compliment on my finished one at church today.
Oh, that's nice.
So let me see, I'll show you this one. I did change colors. I had a chance to work on this a little bit this week. Can you see the change in color on the bottom there?
I
Yes,
think so, yeah. Like I said, I have my screen on, the orange.
it's very similar to the one on top, but it's not the same color. It's darker. It's got more like,
Looks like it's got a little variation to it.
well, it does, but it's not, it's kind of like the one on top, but it's not. The one on the top is more variegated, and the one on the bottom is almost pooling. Like you see, there's more,
It's probably the difference between the two textures because you weren't able to get the same yarn. I mean, it was the same colorway.
not the same colorway. It's a different colorway.
Oh, I
One,
thought that was the only one that had pattern to it. I thought all the other ones were
no, no,
plain.
no, no. This is one of them is Miss Babs, and one of them is Dragonfly Fibers. Um,
Okay, because I know you got two different Miss
mhm.
Babs ones because you
This,
weren't able to get the same weight.
yeah, but they were the same colorway.
Yeah,
This one, I'll show you. Let me see here. I can find it in my bag here. Okay.
because I thought the Dragonfly Fibers was just like a gray because it was or black because it was District 12.
You can see the difference. This has more white.
I
And
didn't even see that there's patterning to the other one because it's so
oh yeah,
dark.
it's got pattern to it. That's what I'm working on right now.
Okay, it looks so dark that I didn't think it had any patterning.
Yeah, this is the one. This one here is the one I started with, and so
Yeah, that's the Miss Babs
yeah, and I have, like I said, I have others of this one.
because
Um,
that's meant to be your main color.
well, kind of,
Well, it's
kind
the
of.
one you have the most of.
But this is the one I'm working on now, and I probably should cut this gray one out. I when I started the new color, I didn't have scissors with me, so I
Hmm.
started it. I normally try to have scissors with me all the time, but I was working in the other room and I didn't feel like getting up because we're watching a movie or something. I think. I'm not even sure anymore. It's too long ago. I can't remember that far back. Let me put this back in the bag. But I have made quite a bit of progress on this, about maybe 5 or 6 rows or maybe 4 rows out of it. You can see it's growing. It takes up the whole screen.
Yeah, it's definitely growing.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to this being done. I think it was, I don't know if it's Stephanie or Jody that I was talking to on the threads. Um, and she was saying, she was encouraging me about finishing it. And I said, yeah, it's going to be kind of a rush to the wire because, I don't have that much time, but it does um, grow pretty quickly if you sit down and do it. If I sit down and do a couple rows at a time every day, I'll have it finished.
Hmm.
Um, the problem is sitting down and doing a couple rows every day.
Right, exactly.
But there are times when maybe I can sit down and do 4 or 5 rows, when I'm watching.
Right.
And when grandparents are here, if I pull this out, theoretically, I can do several rows.
Well, yeah,
Or,
because that one's easy.
and we're watching movies or
Well, Davina's gonna have the Thanksgiving parade in the background.
possibly. We haven't quite decided yet.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you're right because it's kind of been getting a little.
The commercials have been getting so difficult for she'd be scandalized with some of
Yeah.
the commercials. That's
Well,
just
she might even be scandalized now with some of the things in the actual parade.
yeah. And we have to, at all costs, we have to protect her innocence. So
Yeah.
um that's something, but we'll see. And
If
we'll have,
nothing else, she can maybe watch old ones.
yes, and old
She
movies.
doesn't care how old they are.
No, she doesn't. And I also talked to her about it a little bit, and then
Hmm.
and my husband talked to her a little bit about it, and she's like, okay, we said, maybe you can watch either um old parades, or maybe you can watch old movies or whatever. Our family, we all love old movies, all of us.
Hmm.
When my husband gives her a choice, she's just as likely to pull out something like Arsenic and Old Lace as she is um, Diary of a Wimpy Kid or something.
Well,
So,
I mean, she has Elvis marathons.
mhm, yep, we are.
Most brain dead movies ever, but she goes through Elvis marathons.
No, I don't think that's the right one for all most brainless movie ever.
Okay, maybe not the plots are very contrived.
My husband and Davina will sit there and I will work in bills in here. And you have to understand this this room here has a door. My husband keeps saying he's going to put a door on it for me. It's a very wide door. It's not to be like a folding door or something, accordion door or something, but or a barn door or something, because it's fairly wide. Because the next room is what we call the front room or the living room, and I've got nice mellow music on while I'm doing bills and stuff. And oh, do you mind if we watch TV? I said, yeah, just keep it soft. Well, they put on Looney Tunes. I thought I was going to go insane. I had
You
this
need to put on those big
boys,
noise canceling headphones
boys.
like you used to have when we were I feel like you used to have either when you were singing or like when we were in school or something, those big old ones.
Yeah, but I have to be able to pick up the music I'm trying to listen to myself.
Well, I
I
mean, like, but if it's feeding into your headphones,
Right, but I don't know if I have a plug on my computer for that.
oh, there's most of most of those computers will
I couldn't
have a,
find I couldn't find it. Well, I have to check and see. But anyway, I need something like that because I'm doing bills. I need to have a nice cup of tea and nice music. And that just kind of and it's not that I don't like Looney Tunes. It's just
yeah, Mom. If I can find your jack, I would suggest you get those nice, because then,
I should ask Daddy for my one of my gifts if I still have enough.
yeah, yeah. Let me check for your jack after this. I'm absolutely certain you have one. And Dad was wondering what to get you for Christmas. There.
I think he's getting me a Kindle, I think, and I think he's going to get me a weighted bar. But I know that's a small gift, I think.
He wants to he likes to have more, like just like Davina, he likes to have more things to
To open.
have,
He's
yeah,
kind
to
of
open.
he's kind of upset that my one thing is like a computer program. So,
So something like the headphones would make him happy.
yeah, and that way, as long as I know he's here, or even most of the time when you're here, as long as that you're here, or Davina knows she can come in, I can put those on. I don't usually like to do it when Mike is not here and Davina's running around tied to sleep because I have to be able to hear what she's doing.
But
But if
Davina's really good about getting,
she's very good about you know,
because she's been here watching Elvis and stuff, and I've dropped off, and she's gotten, she's actually doing really well.
yeah, but she has to be aware that she can get us when
No, and she knows that.
I think it's your turn.
Yes, it is. So I it's my last project. Because this is the one that has to get the main attention. We kind of talked about this before. First of all, I have this in my Clover Bird Owls bag.
Oh, my bad, my bad.
I got this a long time ago.
One of your early ones. I was
Yeah, I love
a little
these
annoyed I got it.
these big-eyed ones, like this
I
one
know,
here.
they're so cute. They look like they're about
A
ready to
couple
tear
like
up.
that. Oh, this one, he's my favorite. This hold on. This
Yeah.
blue one with the big
Oh,
eyes.
okay, okay, because there's two blue ones in a row there.
Yeah, but it's the one with the big
Big eye.
black eyes.
Okay,
That one.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I just picked this up because I intended to pick up Cloverbird when I see it pop up.
Yeah.
Um, and this was one I thought was cute. I didn't really have any preference for any sort of like anything at that point, just for it to be cute or nerdy. Um, and yeah, at that point you didn't have a big thing for owls either.
I don't remember if I did or not.
Not when I picked up this one. Your owl thing kind of developed slowly.
It's funny because my alma mater, my college, the um mascot is an owl.
Mhm.
I never understood why is it an owl. And I
Well, I
read
mean, if I look back at my history, my favorite toy, Coco, who I'm looking at over there, he's a bunny.
I
And
never
my favorite book as a kid was Velveteen Rabbit.
right, but my point is exactly that I didn't understand why my alma mater was an owl.
Yeah,
I didn't understand. I didn't realize if I thought about okay, they're predators and they're smart. That's
yeah.
that's good. But I didn't really respect the owl back then. I have a little tiny squat owl up on my dresser. It's about maybe about that round and got that high, and I got it from Southern. Um, I'm pretty sure it's my owl. It's adorable. It's cute. But I didn't I didn't appreciate it like I should. Um, it looked just like the little owl you sent me in that picture, the little fuzzball that was,
Oh, okay, the one the person was holding in her hands.
yeah, but it would look like that, but it was, of course, a small little ceramic thing. Um, I loved it. It was cute. I want one of those. They're cute. But anyway,
It's not
okay,
like the pygmy pigs that we looked up and found out that they really weren't that small, and we were both very disappointed.
yeah, I would like to have a pygmy pig.
Well, because I've heard they're so clean and they actually make really good pets,
They're
but there's
small.
not such thing as a pygmy one.
No, I was very disappointed.
I mean, I guess he could get lost and he might get hurt if he was that small.
Well, not any more so than a little chihuahua or something.
That's true. That's true. Probably in better shit, less fragile than a little chihuahua.
Oink, 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 I want a pig. Design a pig.
Uh, but so the mom had dyed this yarn specifically so I can make Dad's Christmas socks because I bugged her enough that she dyed it for me. And this one you're not sure you can repeat because you just.
I think I just kind of threw it together.
I mean, I thought you wrote notes, but maybe
Can't find, I don't think I did. I think I
you
just
started off. I think after I walked away, you might have changed things.
yeah, because I had to clear out all my dye stock before I could start doing, like today I'm going to do some yarn that's new stuff in terms of um I haven't had it in the dye pots.
Hmm.
So I had to clear out all the dye stock. So that helped me to clear out my greens. And
Yes.
some of them were already like my like grandmother's house we go, which is a composite already and
Hmm.
stuff like that. So it's hard to write down. I didn't write it down. I should have, but I didn't.
You started to, but then you stopped.
Well, because
Yes.
I got to the point where I couldn't measure it. So
Uh-huh.
so it's just like, okay, this is just going to be a one-off.
But I'm
Yeah.
calling these Dad's Christmas tree shorty socks because it's for Christmas. And it's not like you can repeat it, so I can call it whatever I want to.
All right. I have one more skein of that that's going in the shop. So
And it does kind of look like a Christmas tree color. And so I am in the heel flap because he likes shorty socks. And this is Not Just Boring Boot Socks pattern by Corinne Walcher. I know there's a question in the comments about what the pattern was. I wrote that down in the comments, and I also mentioned her other patterns. She also has the Not Just Boring Dude Socks, which is fingering weight. That one is basically this one, but fingering weight. Not Just Boring Dad Socks, which is a variation off of the Not Just Boring Dude. And then there's the Not Just Boring Chick Socks, which actually that one's probably the most different of all of them. But those three are all fingering weight. This one's the heavier weight one, the Not Just Boring Boot
you need
Socks.
to do a chick one for the heavier weight.
It's supposed to be a bit more of a delicate because it has a faux cable or like it looks like it's almost a cable. I forget what they called them. I think it was twists or
Mm-hmm.
it's been a while since I've done it. Davina had some in that
Her hat?
uh
Oh, and her
like a
cap.
poncho that I made her.
Not the thorns hood.
Not the thorns hood. It was the black one with
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah. I actually got a comment from the designer because it was an Italian
Right.
pattern,
I remember that.
and
Yeah.
she was really excited about it. That was a wild hair colorway.
Mhm. Mhm. I remember it now.
I think it was disco something or other.
Probably that would have been right up Davina's alley.
So, and I think
Oh,
it was less black than I remember. I think it was
it
more.
had a lot, no, it had a lot of black in it.
Did it? Okay, I can't remember.
A lot of black. It had a
It's
lot of
been a
black.
little while since she's worn it because she goes through cycles with her different knitting things because she has so much.
Yeah, she's very knit worthy.
Yeah.
And the thing about her is she will tell you, okay, I've got enough socks. I don't need any more hats. I need the, yeah, she'll tell you.
Yes, you're not wasting your time.
Hint, 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 I want a sweater. Hint, 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 mom, I want something in that color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. Yeah, all right, fine.
Yeah, she hasn't asked for a hat for a while. Although she got really excited, like even more than for I think she was more excited about the mitts and because I made her a couple things one year, and she was almost more excited about the mitts than she was about the hat I designed for her. She
Oh,
was,
she loves that hat. That's what she goes to. She used to go to Diane's hat for everything. Now she likes that one for you, and she likes the one I make her, which is crocheted, which never comes out the same ever. I mean, I don't understand what it is about that hat.
well, yeah, because I usually ask Davina if she wants a hat, if she wants a Diana's, or she wants her hat. But I designed her hat with all her preferences in mind because she likes it to be lighter weight.
Slouchy.
She likes it to be slouchy. I added extra slouch, and so yeah,
What should
I
you
designed that with her preferences in mind. But
that even thinking about a slouchy hat makes my neck. Ugh.
well, I know I'm wearing one right now, but this one is Flock Brizonas. This was the first, I think this was the first Diana's hat I made.
Yeah.
It was this is my favorite colorway. This was in the silk.
Oh yeah, he had that silk bamboo blend or whatever it was.
Um, and I have the matching cowl here. It's such a soft, and this one is the Zuzu's petals.
Right.
I tend to gravitate towards Zuzu petals of my cowls when I'm cold because it's less
Hmm.
constricting up here and it also covers more
Right.
because it goes down into the chest. So, because when I don't feel well, I get extremely chilly. So,
Right.
this hat, fingerless mitts, oh, over here. This is a pre uh, fun mitts.
Yeah. Yeah. I have mine. Are those the ones you made for me? No.
Yes. Well, I made you one pair of foot mitts in Captain America, but most of the ones you have are in this one because
I
this was my go-to for years.
I wear mine to church. I was just thinking I need some this color, Talia, because I the
Okay, well, if you have some for me, I can
that,
do
that,
that for you.
I don't know if I do that. It has to that match with this because um
What's that colorway?
I don't have any clues. All Miss Babs. I have to see if I have something that will go with this because I ended up wearing the green ones you made me. The blue.
Okay, so yeah, if you manage to get a colorway that you think will match that, yeah, I can knock out a pair. You just decide whether or not you want the cable ones or if you want the fun ones.
No, I want the cable ones.
Okay,
I love the fun ones too, but the cable ones I want to wear to church.
okay.
So the fun ones I wear out to walk and that kind of stuff. I only have one pair of the fun ones because
Captain America.
yeah, and that's the ones I think would be better to wear out because they're a little plainer. But
Well, also they almost more than the cable ones. They're really good for cold, like cold outside because they cling. That's what the
and
that is a part of the nature of the stitch that I use. Um,
because
so
I thought that I would like to make those, but I can't stand doing seed stitch. It drives me
no, yeah,
bonk.
it really isn't your kind of thing to make, but it is really nice to wear out. And I made this part a little bit taller, so if you wanted to.
I like that because my hands today I was wearing mitts when I got on the treadmill because my hands were so cold. The ones I crocheted, one of George's patterns.
I
Uh,
tend to keep these by my bed for when I do get chilly, and have to go and take a nap. But this is your Booyakasha colorway. I like to this pattern for their huh?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pattern.
Yeah.
Color.
So I like to uh use variegated
Mm-hmm.
with this pat. It's kind of like your
Cerebel.
uh, huh?
Cerebel?
Cerebell, where like it can make any variegated work. So
Yeah, I would like to get another pair of those eventually too because I I thought I could make those. I tried. I get very annoyed because I keep missing the stitch count. Like you're supposed to do like whatever it is for seed stitch every other or every two or whatever it is, and drives me nuts. Why is the tea gone?
presumably because you drank it.
Why is the tea gone? I want it. I
But yeah,
want.
that's it for this. I'm already in the heel flap. Uh, Dad doesn't have an overly long foot,
Mm-mm.
so and he doesn't like an overly long leg. So actually, his socks will take less time than knitting one for me because his foot is only a little bit longer than mine. It's just wider than mine. If I slip on his shoes to go out and take them, like back when I did a little bit more going out, if I had to slip out in his shoes to like take trash out or something, I would not have much issue.
See, my flops off my
Yeah,
feet,
there's just enough of a difference between your foot and my foot. You and I can wear the same things.
except for your weird foot shape.
Yeah, that people always comment on that.
Mm.
Um,
I can't
you
imagine.
know,
Can't imagine why.
well, I and the thing is, I don't. I've had enough people comment that I wear my shoes weird, and they when they say, in college, everyone borrows each
Mhm.
other's things, but people didn't like borrowing my shoes, particularly my boots, because I always wore boots.
Mm.
Because apparently I like,
It's weird. It's not comfortable on your foot when she's worn a pair of shoes for a while.
yeah. So the way I break them in, apparently enough people said that I break them in weirdly that I know it's not just like one person's thing. It's been independently corroborated by multiple people. So I don't know what it is I do.
A controlled, what is it? A controlled sample?
Well, a controlled sample would be that control is the one that has like shoes that are normal.
Well, no,
And
I'm talking about the fact that they're taking a sample, just taking a sample from a controlled group, like it's the loose or broad, loose um, definition.
yeah,
Not
I mean, it's it it's yeah, it's just interesting. And I'm sure it's somehow related to the Ehlers-Danlos. I know I have flat feet, that kind of thing. But yeah, apparently no one can really wear my shoes comfortably after I've worn them a while.
okay. So, are you done with yours?
I am.
Okay. The other thing I worked on a little bit um, more than normal was in my Brittany bag, my Brittany country bag. This is my Country Roads blanket project from the Jelly Roll blanket pattern by KF Jones, and I got to the point where I changed the color. I was working in Mad Tosh. I think this is Heidi's yarn, Undead yarn. Um, I just
Is that
put
one of the ones I gave you from a pair of socks?
I don't know, it might have been. Um, this is it. Um,
Hang on, let me turn off my filter because I can't tell. Just give
because
me
I
half a second.
I have had a lot of Heidi's yarn as well. Um,
But I know I gave you with my socks
sure you
quite a
might.
quite a bit. Hold on, I'm gonna turn off.
Yeah, this is a sport weight.
Did you
270.
bring it up again?
Yes. Just give me a second. Put the tag back in here.
Yeah, I made a pair of socks out of that. That was
It's a roadkill.
yeah, I was
It,
gonna say I thought it was a roadkill.
I the funny thing about Heidi's yarn is most of the time I like her roadkills best.
Well, I
Um,
think that's part of actually her uh snap crackle oh crap pop kind of feels like a roadkill.
yeah, but this is not. This is not that. This is
No,
that.
this one's actually a roadkill, but her I think that's why I like her snap crackle oh crap pop because it
Mhm.
has kind of a roadkill feel to it.
Yeah, I mean her yarn is very nice.
It is, I mean, because it wouldn't be because we do have definite different color preferences, but I love it for socks. And for
Toys.
a long time, we used it for toys.
We used to drive her nuts. We get her nice yarn. You're making toys out of my yarn.
Well,
Heidi put up with us for Heidi's just
and then after she said that, I ended up designing Biddy out
oh,
of Natosh.
we used to drive her nuts. Heidi is a sweetheart. She was instrumental in helping me get started along with Taya, in getting started with my dyeing and getting my shop and everything. She was an inspiration. She had a dye along. I think I actually won something in her dye along. Um,
She pushed you to do citric acid.
she did. So um, I will always be indebted to Heidi. And if you want to
Well,
check,
it's
she's also
kind of like George pushing me to or helping me with the patterns. It didn't benefit either of them. It added another person into, the pool of, you
and
know,
and like you don't take anything from George any more than I take anything from Heidi. My color palette is completely different from Heidi's palette.
yeah.
won't make the same
I
things,
don't think
George.
George designs toys.
No, no, I don't think he does. I haven't seen any toys anyway. But both of those people, um, they don't pay us or anything. They've just been very good to us. 10 Hours of Life, George, and Undead Yarn is Heidi. Okay,
Hmm.
on Etsy. George has his own website and he's on Ravelry. I'm not sure if Heidi's on. Well, she's yarn. She wouldn't be on
I don't
Ravelry.
know if he still does it. George used to have used to be really like he used to have
I, I
fairly
I
frequent
went to
sales.
I went to his site. He had stuff going. I don't know if he's as frequent as he's been in the past.
I need to put myself on. I don't think I'm on an email list for him. I need to do that.
I'm not on either anymore. I need to get back on his list because he's fantastic. George is absolutely fabulous. Um,
Because even though it was two yarns together, I love that one blanket that I knit with the heart in the middle. I was so proud of that blanket because it was the
I,
first baby blanket I finished.
I said, George, I'm just going to do it with a heavier yarn, okay? I'm not doing two knitted. I'll do with crochet. I'll do more than one together.
It was a beautiful blanket.
I have a blanket that I did that's not George's. I did for my parents. It had a very Colombian feel. My mom's Colombian. Well, she was Colombian. She's American now, but she and I thought, oh, this looks very of that area. And I had to crochet with, I kid you not, people who've been with us for a while remember this, 6 strands of yarn together. I thought, ugh. And then you had to make sure that you got all the yarn. I just had to make sure that all the
I
yarn.
remember points where you wouldn't catch one and you had to go back or you'd have to like fake it or whatever.
It turned out beautifully. Oh, what a heavy blanket! My parents love it. But yeah. Did I show? I did show this. This is me done. Um,
Okay,
okay.
so that's all for project then because I have nothing left.
Well, I don't have anything either. So let me just get the yarn that's kind of all over the place.
And I don't have any FOs or a graphic novel, although since I've gone through all the cards that and stuff that I received from people um the for surgery, either because people sent donations or they just sent good, not just, but they sent get well cards. Um, Now that I've kind of organized those, I can start thinking about putting them in my journal. I just haven't.
This is my journal from Stacy. Okay. I have not put anything else in it yet, but it's all stuffed in the front, all the stuff I want to do, because I haven't been able to find enough time that isn't already taken up for something else. I want to finish this because I want to buy another one from her. I
Well,
want,
I
I,
know I have like a container that's full of the things that I will use for a journal I don't even own yet.
yeah, well, I when I finish with this one, and I will do that, I'm going to order an owl one from her because, you know,
She hasn't made a bunny one, but I want her to make a bunny one for me like that size.
yep. So, yeah, so Stacy's fantastic. She is fabulous. She does not have an Etsy shop. You have to talk to her directly on Instagram, and
Hmm.
she's fabulous. Her name is Stacy's Journal Journey, I think it is, but she's
Yeah. And is this really nice? Like she will, besides, posting the journals that she makes, I think a lot of it, she just likes to keep it fairly low stress, I think.
yeah,
Um,
I mean she does, you know, I think she does occasional orders, but she also sometimes she'll just say, I'm gonna make this, and boom, it goes off to somebody.
that's
I
what happened to ours.
I got this because I said, oh, I love Eeyore. And the next thing I knew was, I'm sending you something. What's your address? And she sent me this. I was flabbergasted. I absolutely love this. Eeyore is my favorite Pooh character. Absolutely love Eeyore. Um, and this is just very, very well made. I absolutely love it. And I need to sit down and just fill in some more pages because I want to. It makes me happy. I, she can't. Stacy, if you're watching, it makes me absolutely incredibly happy.
Well,
Um,
I know that mine came at a very good time for me because I was very stressed with everything that seemed to go wrong right before going to surgery. So if I was stressed, I would sit there, journal a little bit, um, sometimes draw a little bit because I didn't have a whole lot of stickers and stuff, which actually is very helpful. Uh, forced me to do a couple, draw like I hadn't in a while. So um, I do need to get back into doing. Several things lapsed after I had surgery. Like I had to get back into tracking my symptoms again too. Um,
I'm gonna have to start doing that with my jaw to see know,
No, you that it's very important.
the med does the medication help? Is the weather doing something? Is it, because I, I'm
Get a
gonna,
notebook if you don't want to get one of the fancy things,
mhm,
and set aside a page for each day, or so even if you just get one of those really cheap, you know, diary type things where they don't have anything else there but like the dates,
mhm,
and then you fill in the information. And it doesn't have to be like an hour by hour. It can be like a sum up,
yeah.
like
I don't
um
even hour by hour. I just didn't say, okay, I got up this morning and it didn't seem like it was in place. It took longer to get back in place, which has happened today. It took long. He'd helped today. I didn't take medicine on this day, and it was difficult to eat anything. So I want to keep this in, because I'm not completely convinced that it's just TMJ. Um,
and I mean, that's really when you start tracking things, you realize what things are repeating. And I don't do this as often now, but I had a suggestion from a coworker to do it on also on an actual calendar. We can see it all together
right. Oh yeah,
because you don't realize how often it's happening
you see it.
until you see it. Like I would see, oh, look at all the spells I'm having. Same thing happened when I started having migraines, is you all of a sudden see that there is a pattern you don't even pick up when you're just taking notes.
Right.
So that was what was really helpful when I still pick up that tutor um
I
journal,
have this here.
because you had the little area where you could write, and I might have to go back to doing something like that again. Uh,
I might
and
have
you also had the calendar.
I might have to get some kind of a like a day runner journal, just a basic one that has the full calendar, that's open that you're talking about the month. And then because I'm only doing it for pain, it can have, 2 days to a page even. And just
Mhm.
and this day, both for my well, this is getting to life stuff. I probably shouldn't be talking about this, but so you can stop your ears if you don't want to. We'll be done in a minute. If I don't keep going, I'll forget it.
Yeah.
Um, where I can put, okay, this is the pain in the jaw, this is the pain in the hand, this is the pain in the hip, whatever, because I have a lot of pain. And that's I mean, it's not excruciating. I know a lot of people have much worse pain than I do, and I feel like a baby
Well,
thing.
the thing is, you when you live with it, it's hard to tell. You after a while, you lose your ability to gauge
Mhm.
because it's normal.
Yeah. But
Um, that is your baseline level.
and somehow we slipped into that before we got finished.
Right, well, because it had to do with journaling.
Yeah. Let me see here. We do have are we doing royalties or the
Well, we usually do shop first,
okay. My
and
shop,
I only have the patterns right now. I want to slowly build into honestly, it'll depend on what my wound looks like once we do the dressing changes. I think I'll be able to remove it and then get to feel like a person.
yeah. Yeah, I was a little concerned with the last time we checked over it, so she decided to go ahead and leave it bandaged one more week.
Uh,
Um, but for my yarn, okay, I'm going to be dyeing 2 more skeins of yarn today, maybe more. This all has to go in the shop. And this is Christina's ginormous bag that she gave me. I absolutely adore this bag. I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Christina. This, okay, okay. I've shown you most of the colors in here, I think, but this one is new. This is my favorite teddy bear variant. Now I don't know if this is coming across true because my light is so bad in here.
and I'm
Um,
back on orange again, so let me see if I can get that off, and I'll be able to tell you.
oh, okay.
Hold on, I haven't turned it off yet. I think it's coming decently across.
This is a little bit different than it normally is because she was talking to me when I was putting my stuff together and I got distracted. But it's basically my favorite teddy bear, just a little bit different. So I wouldn't use it with a normal one. This one is also a variant. Um, um, it's kind of like a deep cranberry, and this has got all kinds of different reds in it. I cannot do these. A lot of these, like I said, are these are all most of these are all one-offs. Um, Although this one here, I can take a stab at redoing slightly different. This is going
And
to be,
mom, I told mom that made me think of the candy canes that when we grow up, we would have, they were green and white and red, but like the red was either strawberry or cherry, and the green was like apple.
mhm.
They were our favorite kinds of candy cane. I mean, they had other ones. They had like blue or whatever, but the best ones are always the ones with the red and green.
And the weights for these are anywhere from fingering sock, sport, and DK. Um, this is another one, and this is a one-off as well. And I have this one in both. That's coming across really a lot brighter than this is. At
It's
least
very beautiful. It's blue, right?
it's a purpley blue,
Mm.
and um, almost almost a periwinkle. This was almost a dark periwinkle because it took differently on the heavier yarn than it did on the lighter yarn. But I have two of these in DK and two of them in fingering sock. Just trying to see. And some of these, like I said, you've probably seen before. I just can't remember which ones you saw before. So I'm kind of giving an overview of all of them. I have
Now, Mom, would that blue work with your shawl that you need stuff matching with?
no, no,
Okay.
blue.
I
It's
guess I'm looking at it's more green than it is blue.
okay. This is the same color as what I just showed you, but this is on my sparkle fingering sock, and it's slightly different and looks really, really pretty. I have two of these as well. Um, so I'm trying to get stuff done to maybe have a Black Friday sale kind of thing. And I don't know if I'm gonna I have to get these all labeled and scanned up again. Here's another one. This is another one that I tried to oops, I tried to clear out my green. So this is a oops or one off or okay or what.
Is that the same as this one?
No,
Okay.
this is slightly
Because I
different.
thought you had done two of this one.
Yeah, I just haven't showed it yet.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. I lost the ball band that tells me what the weight is. This one is a fingering sock. Oh, and actually,
Yes, ma'am.
I can redo. I've got the recipe on this one on the ball band.
Oh, there you go.
Yep. So um, this one I can redo, and actually this one might go.
Oh, okay. Now you need a heavier weight for that one
Yes, I do. Um,
because that's the whole point of the fingerless mitts.
but since I have,
The
here's your
recipe.
here's yours, Taya, the one you're using.
Oh, okay. I see.
Okay, I only have one of those to go in the shop, and I have this is another weight of the one I just showed you, the candy cane.
Now, Mom, with the one I'm doing here, would that go with your shawl?
The one oh that green, I think it's too bright
Mm-hmm.
because this is more like turquoise and um, what's that color I like so much? Teal. And
Okay, that makes sense.
yeah, and then most of these in here now you've seen before. So these are all my like reds and purples and oh, this one I haven't shown you yet, I don't think. This is another candy cane, it's a different one. And this one again, I can probably it won't be the same, but it'll be close. That's pretty. I haven't seen it before. I'm sorry. Yeah, shameless self-promotion. It's another one of my candy cane ones are fun to do. This is different. I know Rena had bought I sold a candy cane to her. I have a couple of candy canes. I have unconventional candy canes, which I'm going to try to do today. And then I have, I think it's old-fashioned candy cane, which is similar to this, but not. And Rena has some of that. She made something with it. Um, so yeah, and I have reds and purple. I have something called this one's kind of purpley. I think this is my raspberry beret. Let me see here. Um, well, that one just I'm gonna have to retwist that one, but so yeah, I have a bunch of yarn. I think I have close to 18 or days of yarn in here that I have to go to the
Nice.
shop. So I'm hoping that, and I know the colors right now are kind of heavy on the reds and the greens, and stuff like that. But
Well,
that
we're heading into Christmas.
heading into Christmas, I needed to clear out my dye stock. I have a colorway that I want to do. Um,
It's a shame you weren't able to get candy cane out time, not candy cane, uh, candy corn out in time for Halloween.
It was out.
Was it?
Yeah, it was out.
Was it in the shop?
I don't know if nobody saw it or what. It's been out. And I've
Well,
had,
I know it's, I mean, but I didn't know if you had any left.
yeah, I have one
Oh, okay.
in the shop. I'm not sure what weight it is. I think it's a fingering sock. I think I
Well,
have,
I know the one you dyed up for me to make for Davina was a fingering sock with some sparkle to it.
yeah. Well, this one I think is just a regular one. It's sitting up there. Um, hey, I'd be good for Thanksgiving. Um,
Yeah, it's
so
still the right colors.
yeah. So that takes care of my yarn for that. I do hope to dye up some yarn today, and if necessary, maybe tomorrow. But then I have to go into full getting ready for Thanksgiving, cleaning the house, cooking, cleaning, blah blah blah.
I should see. I'm pretty sure candy corn is one of the candies I should have. I can have. I should see if I can steal some tax off of Davina.
Yeah, she'll give it to you if she still has
Oh, she
some.
will. She always wants to share her stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when it's a big one. I get one piece. I can't. I love candy cane. I used to eat it by especially at Thanksgiving, Halloween. That was my favorite candy was
Candy
the
corn.
candy corn. And so, but now I can't eat more than a couple pieces before it's just too sweet. Um,
Well, candy corn is sweet. And it's really funny. It's like both candy corn and the peeps
mhm,
are really sweet, but they're very different textures.
yep,
I love peeps.
so do I. And I don't care if
They're
they get
basically sugar marshmallows.
they are. That's what they are. They're
Yeah,
marshmallows.
I mean, with in shape of animals, what's not to love?
Yeah, yep,
And if
yep,
you hate bunnies like Lori does, you can, eat their head off.
yep. That's a disturbing.
Well, she's already said she's popping their heads off in the corner, so
Yeah, yes. Her corners all cleaned up with. I took all the headless bunnies out and buried them. But anyway, okay. All
So
right. So,
shop news is done?
yeah,
Yeah, because yeah, things are not yeah.
and a reminder that Laura is going to be having her shop no longer on Etsy, I believe. She's got her private shop. I don't know if she's set up yet, but keep your eyes open on Instagram or whatever she's going to make that announcement, so you don't miss out on her things.
Yeah.
I'm not sure she's going to be doing anything special for Christmas this year because she's getting the site set up, but keep your eyes open. She might be doing something. I don't know. Um, okay,
Okay, so then that leads us on to stash enhancements.
okay. We both have Adagio, right?
No,
Oh, you don't have any Adagio?
no, mine hasn't arrived yet.
Okay. I may have even more coming in to finish up for Christmas, so I just, okay, let me go first with the prize donations we got from Christina. Christina is absolutely fabulous. Okay, she really is. She gave us this is three prizes. Okay, um, this is one prize. It's Encore yarn, and this is another. And then the third prize. This is absolutely gorgeous. Isn't this beautiful? Isn't that beautiful? Can you see that? I don't know if it's coming across as pretty as it really is. It's it's brighter than I'm seeing it on the screen. This is self-striping in the Potions Master colorway. I think this is a Harry Potter.
Yes, it's has to do with Snape.
Okay, that's yeah, Slytherin or something. It has
He is in Slytherin actually. Good job.
okay. So yeah, osmosis. You can't. Anyway, this is mint rain hand dyed yarns. Okay, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I've
It's
got.
beautiful. I'd never heard of the dyer before.
No, I haven't either. And the dyer is at mintrainyarns.com. Okay. So that's this yarn. That's one prize. And then we have, and she sent us a nice little card telling us I had to write her back to make sure I understood. So she sent us a little card, which was really, I can show you the card, but I'm not going to read it. A little document on the front, which is really nice. Okay. Um, so we are very appreciative of Christina. She always keeps us in prizes, and we are very, very appreciative of it. This is Encore yarn, which is really, I like Encore yarn. It's a really nice yarn. And the color is very classic. It'd be great for, you know, baby items or accessories or whatever. It's beautiful. And this is this is a worsted weight. Yes, it's worsted. So it's nice accessories with it. So thank you, Christina, for that. Um, you said you did have something, right? Do you want me to finish mine? You do yours?
Yeah, because I have a gift in here.
Okay. I picked up a couple of teas because I picked up a few things for Christmas gifts, and I got this came from Safina, the pumpkin spice. I stopped um, choosing the free spices because I was getting these packets. I didn't know what to do with them. So at this point, I
The
will use.
pumpkin spice right now is probably the most useful one.
Yeah,
And things like things that would be in your thing, this kind of folly cooking.
right. And then I got I think I got this one last time. I don't know if I showed you. April in Paris, and I scored a Dark Side of Bella Luna, which is nice. I don't know how I managed to do that, but I did. So I'm going to try that. And then I got Sister Teresa Garrulous, which is this one up here. I forget what's in it that made me want it. And
Hmm.
and then there's Dolly Madison, which has masala chai, chocolate chai, mocha nut mott, and cocoa nibs, which seems like it might be right up my alley. Um, Dolly Madison. And then I got Jack. I don't know what the reference is for this. Jack the swordsman. And I know these are fandom things, so I don't follow a lot of these cultural
Well,
things.
the two like Dolly and Madison is,
Yeah,
I'm
that's
assuming,
but I think Sister Teresa is, I don't know what that is. Sister Teresa Garrulous, I don't know what that is. At first I thought it was Saint Teresa of Avila. Um, I don't know,
no.
I don't know who she is, but and Jack the Swordsman is some kind of fandom. I can't really read what it says in here, what's in it because it's really light and it's small. I don't have really good light. Let me see if my glasses will help. Um, Butterscotch, caramel, and fiery cinnamon spice. Yeah, this is good. That'll be good. So yeah, that takes care of my stash enhancements that I can think of.
So for mine, I'm going to show the gift absolutely last. You're not going to be able to see all my stash enhancements. You're going to have to go to my booktube if you want to see all of them. But I'll just, at least show you the cover of two of them that are easy to grab because my other ones are a bit heavy and I'm not just going to pull them out. I go through a real good deep dive because these are all illustrated versions of my JRR Tolkien books. I already had some of them already, but I go through a deep dive of all the ones I have so far. And I had a gift card from Anthem for doing some sort of like, let's review your meds and medical conditions, and they sent me $100 gift card. So I was like, I want some things. Um, I've got the Fall of Numenor coming in. That's a pre-order, like pre-orders, because pre-orders you lock in the price, and if they can't go higher, but if it drops, you get the drop price. This was the cover Tolkien originally wanted. Now he doesn't get. He wanted more. I think they said he wanted more red, and they didn't give it to him. Although he does have his red sun, which they didn't let him have in the original version because there was too much red, and he was able to get his red smog as well here, unlike the original version. So yeah, this is illustrated as illustrations by Tolkien, not just the cover illustration. So it's cool. This is the 75th anniversary version, and because I always end up with a little bit left over on a card, I just grabbed a fun little bookmark so I can maybe use up. I like big books and I cannot lie. And if I have a little bit, because I had done the math and I was like, I'm probably gonna have enough to do another bookmark, but I'll wait until the Fall of Numenor comes in because I hate having like $2 left on it. And it's like when I can get something else. So uh because then I feel like I didn't get my full benefit out of my card. So if there's a little bit left, I can get another from this particular one. There's a couple about, you know, go away, I'm reading now, and just things like that. But I went with I like big books and I cannot lie for this one. This one doesn't need a bookmark. It comes with its own special ribbon. This is the Cimmerillion. This was a pre-order for me. Beautiful book. Uh, this is a pre-ordered a long time ago. The only thing I'll show you is the cover that's underneath.
That's beautiful.
If you want to see more of the gorgeousness, check out book 2 for that.
Yeah, because
But,
we're running late.
huh?
We're running late. We have
Yeah.
to eat.
So that's why I only want to just briefly show those because those are easy to grab.
Right.
Everything else is heavy because I have a full
Oh
set
yeah.
of, huh?
This
What?
this this thing. That
They're
you're,
big books and I cannot
no, no,
lie.
talk about your thing that you're showing now made me laugh.
Oh, yes. So I think this came in with the Cimmerillion.
I thought that
I
came
think
in
it came
earlier.
in with the Cimmerillion or around the time of the Cimmerillion.
Yeah.
So I got really confused because I was like, I don't remember ordering anything this size. And it was a gift from Laura. I think I mentioned the other podcast that I used US zeros for my pair of little oh, maybe it's also for your maybe the shawl is knitted in zeros. Isn't it the one that
Oh, Pat did. Oh,
that
Pat.
might be what we're talking about. I said I only have one pair of zeros and it's a pair of socks. And I bet that's why Laura snagged this for me so I could knit
She's mhm.
your cow with the ruse meadow.
Mhm.
At some point, we're gonna have to wind that up so I can actually knit that for you.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I love Rue. She's yeah, but we're not gonna go there because we don't have
right,
time.
but yeah, so these are my US zeros as a surprise. And Laura also has like the stitch holder that came with it. So yeah, this was a nice fun surprise. It took a second, like, why did she get me zeros? I know I use them for the shorty tucks. That's why she got me zeros. So I could do your
She's a sweetheart.
cow.
Four like a
So
sweetheart. Yep. Okay.
yep, I'll probably start your cow after I finish Dad's socks.
Yeah, whatever.
So
Okay.
yes,
So
unless you decide you want your fingerless mitts first, which you might.
whatever. I'm not really
Well, the thing is with your fingerless mitts, you have to have the right color
right. Right.
because you want it to match that shawl.
Yep. Because I feel funny walking around with green with this or blue because my blue is zing, and it's
Yeah, that doesn't quite match.
especially when this goes so well with what I'm wearing today. I just
You want everything to go.
yeah, I matchy matchy.
I know I have several things where it's like I need to have things that match and I don't. Like I think I need a pair of orange and I need to knit a pair out of my my yellow.
I think I have orange yarn, or did I?
Oh, I have orange yarn. That's not a problem. I have orange yarn.
I okay. I think that's basically it for that. We are not slated to do a Zoom this week, but
No, it's the last of the month.
and that's the one that will be problematic because my parents
Right. We
and
talked of moving it to the week after, maybe doing it on Thursday, because that would just make it so 2 weeks in a row you'd have the live stream. So like it'd be the beginning of the month. We don't usually have anything on the beginning first week of the month because of confession. But if we do the moved Zoom the Thursday before my confession,
Mhm.
and then we have the next week the live stream, everyone gets everything they.
We'll have to see what it is that we have planned on that time. I'm not sure if we have anything planned on that time or not, but we want to make sure that you get everything. So, we're going to end up, we might have one at the very beginning of that time period, which I don't know if that's already in December or if we're still in November at that point. But if it is in December, we're going to have two, one on each end. So they
Yeah.
get what they pay for. Um, okay, so that takes care of that. Um, anything else?
No. Okay, Mom. Thanksgiving
Well, Thanksgiving is the
the
24th.
24th. So yeah, the next Thursday is the first.
Hmm. So
Um, huh?
we'd have it the first, and then we'd have to have it again because that's the last one. We'd have to have it whatever the last one is in December, which is probably just
The
after.
last one in December is the 30th. Your birthday.
No,
Oh no, January's your birthday. I'm a brain dead person.
It's a holy family.
Well, there, that's your the for your stuff.
Yeah. So that, so we'll try
That's
and
why I said that because I'm
you'll
yeah,
get
no.
you'll get a Zoom on either end of the month. That
But
time.
it's like almost exactly like the 30th just is barely not the last day.
Yeah.
And the first is like the soonest you can be in December. Because I was
Just
just making sure I didn't have I know I have an appointment in December to see Dr. Henderson, but that's
Mhm.
not till the 19th. So we're cool.
So we'll have to put that in the calendar so that we can work around it. But
Yeah.
other than that, I think that's it. I think we're done.
Yeah,
Um,
because and I'll have to set up the reminders in the Patreon because I forgot to do that one of the times recently.
and check out the holiday thread. Don't forget to check out the holiday thread. That's kind of a everything goes for the holidays kind of thing. It's crafting and recipes and all kinds of stuff. So, we have
If
one
you're putting up your Christmas tree already,
a picture up, or hey, if you have a Thanksgiving table picture you want to show. I mean,
yeah,
this is
yeah.
not
Whoops, I am so sorry, guys. There we
this is
go.
not just Christmas. This is the holidays.
Yeah,
So
it's a whole holiday season because this is really it's a nice season. It's a busy season,
next
but
year,
this
next year we might have to start it like the put it up like the 29th of October, so you hit Halloween. Because I know
yeah,
people really I don't care necessarily for Halloween, but I know a lot of people do.
yeah,
So maybe we'll do that. And I know they want to show maybe their grandkids or their kids' costumes, or maybe their costumes. I don't know. And
right.
all the way through your Christmas carols or Advent stuff, Advent wreath or whatever, things like that. Want to see recipes, want to see all that kind of stuff. It'll be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah, I think it'll be fun. And there's no pressure. We do have donations for prizes this time. We're very happy about that. And
And
go,
I mean, we should actually occasionally add things in there since it's not
yeah,
really
yes.
like take pictures of after we've made them. Like, I need to maybe get pictures of my enchiladas
Mhm.
after I make them.
I was thinking about that myself. So that's yeah, we'll probably add things. We can't win anything, but we can add
Well,
things.
no, of course not. But kind of foster that
Mhm.
feeling, kind of get ourselves a little bit more on there a bit. Uh-huh. Give me a little bit off of my YouTube political videos and maybe more where I'm supposed to be.
Yep, yep. So yeah, so okay, so that's enough yammering and waffling because we have to eat lunch.
Yeah,
Before you leave, we want to thank all the people who commented that I've noticed. And like I said, I'm sorry I haven't responded to anybody at this point. I hope to do so later. Don't stop commenting because we do read them and we do
we
appreciate
do.
it. Um, we want to thank Uni Hiker and Paula and Meditative Crafter and Kara and Jodidiah. Okay. And anybody else who commented that I didn't see, we are very grateful for the comments and we
Yes.
continue to do so. Um, we want to wish you all, I know I got my clapper this time. We want to wish you all a wonderful, blessed week full of knitting, crocheting, preparing for the holidays, whatever it is that makes your heart happy. And we hope to see you here again for the Fun in the Woman Cave next week. This is the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast, episode 528, I believe. And that's a wrap.
Bye.